Hello followers, my name is Mr. M. Fretwell and welcome back to my Minecraft tutorial series. This is episode 32 and today we're going to be looking at installing and using texture packs in 1.5. So I thought this would be a good time to do the texture pack tutorial. It's been requested in the past that I show how to install and use them, and it changed in 1.5 with some new additions, so I decided that now will be a good time to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So before we begin with the installation part of this video, I would like to just take a moment of your time to explain about what texture packs are, how they work, and what they're basically for in a nutshell. So texture packs are basically a pack of textures basically that replace the current textures in the game. So textures are things like cobblestone, torches, fence. What you're seeing now is the texture of that item. So what texture packs do is they're a pack of textures put together that change these things to make them look either like something else or to look a bit more realistic or anything along those lines really. So there are different resolutions of texture pack, and before 1.5 it was impossible to use a texture pack that was 32 or above, say 32 or 64, so high resolution ones. But 1.5 brought in HD texture packs and they are now compatible, so you no longer need mods or anything to actually use them. But one thing I have noticed is with some of the higher resolution texture packs, unless you have a really good computer, then you're probably going to need to install a mod like Optifine to help your computer cope. But I am going to be showing you today how to install the Faithful texture pack, and that texture pack is a good texture pack for anybody who wants to experiment with them, and it's not too hampering on your performance of the game, particularly without installing mods, because this is a vanilla tutorial series. So that's what texture packs are. They obviously, as I've explained, they actually change the texture. The textures of different items, and they work essentially by swapping out the different textures. So the current texture for the bed, for example, what the texture pack does is it gets loaded into the game and the game says hey, basically it says hey, and then it removes the texture for the bed. It says you're using a texture pack, so it removes the original default texture for the bed, which is this one, and inserts the texture in the pack in its place, and it does that for all blocks in the game, all blocks, items, unless they're not supported. If they have not been added yet, for example, the texture pack is on a prior version, from 1.5 onwards it will use a fall through to the vanilla texture. So for example, if a texture pack had wood, fence, and like the wood block, fences and planks, but it didn't have cobble, what would happen is it would change all of these to the other textures and it would fall through and just use the vanilla texture, so this one for the cobble. So that's basically how they work in a nutshell. You probably won't be that interested to know that, to be honest, but for any of you budding texture pack authors out there, that's a rough guide as to how they work. I'm not a texture pack author, so I can't explain in exact detail, but that should be a broad way to get you started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to my browser and we are going to download and install one of these texture packs. So obviously it will be the Faithful texture pack. So you are going to need an internet connection for this, which I presume you have because you're watching this video, but you're going to need an internet connection and you're going to need to be able to download texture packs. They don't just automatically load into your Minecraft, you actually need to download them first. So I will meet you over in my browser. Be right back, guys. Okay, so here we are in my web browser. Mine is Firefox. You might be using Chrome or Internet Explorer. This tutorial will be using Firefox, but generally most browsers are the same, or at least very similar in how they work. So basically what we need to do is we need to find a texture pack first, and this is the Faithful 32X texture pack. This is on the Minecraft forums. There will be a link in the description. Thanks to Vatic for making this pack, and here's a screenshot of the texture pack. This one basically adds a higher resolution to the normal textures in the game, so it's not a huge change, but it's a nice one. I do like this texture pack. So sometimes when you actually need to download a texture pack, you will need to use an ad fly, and an ad fly is basically a web page with lots of adverts on. You need to wait 5 seconds, and then up in the top right corner in this section right here there will be a skip ad button. Just click that. Don't click any of the ads, it could cause unwanted grief. So just wait 5 seconds and click the skip ad, then you'll be taken to the download page. I know for a fact that this texture pack page doesn't actually use an ad fly. This just is a direct download. So we're just going to click on this link here, latest version for Minecraft 1.5, and we click this and I get this little pop-up right here, opening faithful32pack.zip. And depending on your browser, this window might look a slightly bit different, but you can either open or save. We need to save because we want to use it. We don't want to open it, we need to save it. So click OK. If you're using Firefox, there might be different buttons for different browsers. So now that's downloaded to my computer, so I can actually install this texture pack. So what we need to do now is minimize everything and go into our downloads folder. This is on Windows, and there is a faithful 32 pack texture pack there. Let's just get rid of this one for right now. That's not a texture pack, that's a custom map that I've been looking at, but that's beside the point. So we have this faithful 32pack.zip. So this is the texture pack. Now we don't need to go in it. If you go in it, you'll see all the different folders for the textures. Now you don't need to do anything with this. What you actually need to do to install it is to open the game. So to just run the game as you would normally and click login, and this will log you in to Minecraft, and this is the simplest way to do it. Then go into options, texture packs, and open texture pack folder. Now this is the texture packs folder, so at this point we can now close the game because we don't need it. So this will list all your texture packs in here. So at the moment I have 5. There is a faithful pack in here, so what we need to do is actually delete this pack. This is probably for an outdated version, maybe 1.4 or something. So I'm just going to delete this texture pack. And now what we need to do is actually get the new one. So the new texture pack is faithful32pack.zip. We can now grab this by holding down our left mouse button and dragging across into the texture packs folder, and it will say move to texture packs like that. Then just let go of your mouse and boom, it's in there. So now that's installed. So what we can do now is we can choose it when we load up the game in the texture packs menu and actually use this texture pack. So that's basically in a nutshell how you install a texture pack. It's quite simple. They will often come as zips, so it's just a case of dragging in. And once you've dragged in, that's it, it's installed. So what we'll do now is we'll head back into the game and I'll show you the texture pack and how to use it, and then also how to get back to the normal texture pack. So once again, I shall be right back, guys. Okay, so here we are back in the game, and now what we're going to do is we're actually going to show off the texture pack. So to actually load the texture pack, you need to press your ESC key if you're in a world, and then choose options, texture packs, and then you'll be presented with a list of all your installed texture packs. These are the zips that we saw earlier in the folder. So what we can do now is actually choose one. So we want to use the faithful texture pack that we've just installed. So click on it, just click anywhere on this, and it will take some time, but then it will load that one into memory, and you can click done. And then you can click done again, and then back to game, and we are now using the faithful texture pack. And that is how you use texture packs. So different texture packs may have different requirements, but this is the faithful texture pack. I'll show you some of the textures now. So we've got the sign, the stair there, the chest, the jukebox, the door. As you can see, a lot of these look very similar to the default textures, as it said in the description when we downloaded it. So this is the texture pack. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm going to do texture pack test drives separately to the tutorial here, but I'm just going to show you a few of the textures that are in and around the cottage. Here are some items that are lying around. Items also get their own textures as well as blocks. Here are some of the other things that I have lying around, diamonds, emeralds and so on. So it changes basically everything in the game. This texture pack specifically changes, I believe, pretty much everything in the game. If you use mods, I know some of you like to use mods such as Feed the Beast, mod packs or individual mods. You will have to check on the texture pack page on a forum most likely to see if that has support for that particular mod. And also sometimes adventure maps and custom maps can actually need a texture pack to work properly, or well, to look properly, should I say. So for example, if you are downloading sort of like an adventure map of a space station, then you might need a special texture pack because the builder decided to use cobblestone for a large part of the build and then retexture it to make it look like an iron, or an iron block or something, or a variation of an iron block. So that's always something to check out when you're downloading a map. Make sure that if it does need a texture pack, that you do download it so that you can actually see it as the designer intended you to. So we've had a bit of a mess around with the texture pack now, so what we need to think about next is how to get the default textures back if you want to do that. So to do that, you need to press ESC, Options, Texture Packs, and then choose Default, the default look of Minecraft, and you just click that and then press Done, and we have our vanilla textures back. So that's pretty much everything in terms of installing and using texture packs. There's not a whole lot more to say about them, really. I hope that you found this tutorial useful, guys, and I hope to see you in the next episode. I'm not sure what we'll do, but most likely it will probably be we are heading down to the Nether, as we need to start on the Nether tutorials now, because there's a lot of stuff in the Nether, and even more stuff that we can do from stuff in the Nether. So, look forward to that. I will be preparing for that off camera now, so I hope that you found this tutorial useful. I hope that those who requested it have watched this and found it useful. I hope that you can from now on be able to install your texture packs with relative ease. And until next time, guys, see you later and have a good day.